Grasshopper Scripts Every Architect should know about. Part 1 is about contouring. Contouring has tons of architecture application. It can be used for parametric stairs or steps like this. It can also be used to create floors for this type of organic towers or towers with terraces. It can also be used to generate structure for complex shapes. And it also can be used to create these parametric louvers. This tutorial requires a basic knowledge about Rhino, so if you are a beginner, I would recommend you to check my Rhino beginner course for architect. You can find it in my YouTube channel page in playlist, which is this one, and I will add the link in the description below. Now you can download all the source files from the pattern page. Let's start with the organic steps. So first I will start by modeling a base surface in Rhino, so double click to maximize the view. I'm going to create layers to organize my model, so I'm going to create this layer and let's name it one contouring, and let's add one sublayer. Let's name it organic steps, and inside this layer I'm going to add 3 sublayers. Number 1, let's name it curves, and number 2, sub D, as we are going to use sub D surface, and number 3, steps or stairs maybe. I'm going to give this maybe a red color. So double click to select the curves layer. I'm going to draw straight curves. Let's make the length maybe 20 meters, and click and right click to use the command. And let's copy it. Place one here in the distance 20 meters and another one in the distance 30 meters. Let's select both of them. Let's type rebuild. Let's make them sub-D friendly and make the control point 8. Press OK. Let's come here to record history and set always record history on. So I'm going to select the sub-D layer, and let's go to sub-D tools, and here in the sub-D loft, let's select the sub-D loft and select this curve, the one and this one, and then right click and set corners to yes to make these corners sharp, and press OK. Now let's select the curves layer again and let's lock it. By the way, as I'm going to adjust the setting a little bit. So in the view, display, the shaded mode, in object, let's in the lock object apply this setting to layer, so that when we lock the object from the layer, it is going to be faded like this. So now you can know which layer is locked and which is not. This is better. So now since when we created this sub-D surface record history was on, we start adjusting these curves, sub-D surface will update. I will start maybe by scaling them like this, and then select all the curves, press F10. Let's maybe move these 2 points up, and I'm going to hold shift and select this 2.2, and hold shift and select all this whole curve and move this maybe something like this by distance of maybe 8 meters to have something like this. I want to add a few more points. I'm going to select these curves and type rebuild. Maybe 10 points is going to be better. Press F10. So I'm going to select these 2 points, and type set point, set it to Z, have something maybe like this. This one I want them to be down, so set point Z, something like this maybe. Let's move this up a little bit. Anyway, you get the idea. We can start adjusting the shape as we wish, using this a little bit. But anyway, let's move forward to the Grasshopper script itself. So type Grasshopper. You open Grasshopper and let's unlock this layer. So the first thing we want to do is to import this surface. So type geometry. Type geometry and right click and set one geometry. So first I want to explain what we are going to do. What we are going to do is actually very simple. What we're going to do, I'm going to just hold Alt and move it using a gimbal. To create this organic step, the first thing we want to do is to offset the surface. So we can offset surface, give it thickness, maybe 0.5. And then we are going to use contour. You can type contour or you can find it here. This one, just type contour. And we are going to set the direction of the contour in the Z. And the spacing maybe 0.15 to have these lines. Then we are going to extrude these lines by the same value, which is 0.15 right now. We have this kind of organic steps, but we want to make it more easier to edit. So we are going to automate these steps in Grasshopper to be able to edit the surface and see how it will update faster. So we imported the surface here. I'm going to use offset theorem. This component is from a plugin called Bubbles. So I'm going to import the geometry, but this right now is sub-D, but it's fine. So, and the distance, maybe 0.00, this for the accuracy, 1, make it 0.5 meter. Let's name this surface thickness. So as you can see, despite this is a sub-D, Rhino automatically converted this sub-D into a variable to be able to use this component. So now we have the thickness. We can set it to pose direction, but I'm not going to set it to pose direction, and make sure solid is set to yes, and that's it. Now we are going to type contour. The direction of the contour is going to be Z, so type Z, unit Z for the direction, and the distance. Let's Control C, Control V, copy this one, and this one step thickness, 5.15, the distance, and this is the shape. You can move this one by holding Control Shift and move it like this. Here we go, we have our lines. Then we are going to convert these lines into surface, so type surface. So now we have our surface, and we can type extrude through the surface in the direction Z, and the value is going to be also 0.5. You can add custom preview. There we go. But as you can see, there are some kind of curves here that are not closed. Let's see how can we fix this one. So I'm going to try something, maybe increasing the tolerance in the Rhino. The Rhino file might fix this one. So let's increase the tolerance. Maybe we can come here and press on the mouse middle button to bring this return menu and click on recompute. Okay, yeah, increasing the tolerance fixed this problem. So that's it for the organic stairs. And the amazing thing about using Grasshopper for this part, we came here. Let's wait a second. I want to show you something. Here is the material. I want to add a material with a little bit of transparency to be able to see the curves. So you can type material, and in this material, you can type swatch. This for the color. Use color, maybe get some kind of gray color. And the transparency, let's add it's a value between 0 and 1. Let's add it maybe 0.2, and it's here. So as you can see, we have some transparency. 1 means completely transparent, and 0 means not transparent. Let's set it to 0.2. Okay, so I'm going to look the sub-D surface again, and here we have the curves. I want to select this curve, select all the curves, type F10. I'm going to select this point. Here is these 2 points, and set point in the Z, and move it down like this. And the Grasshopper script, I'm going to hide all this part, so we only have this our stairs. And of course, we can play around with the step thickness, maybe 0.2. This is like the riser thickness. And this one, maybe move it down a little bit. And so on. And of course, if you have any new design or any other surface, we can use this immediately. And this can be used in any type of surface. It doesn't have to be sub-D. For example, if I created maybe a new layer here, let's name it surface. Select it, let's create a surface, maybe 20 by 35, rebuild it. So 0.8 and 8, press F10. There's a lot of control points. Instead of 6 and 6. Press F10. Let's move this up a little bit. Maybe moving point. Let's switch to the wireframe. Select these points. Hold Shift and select these 2 points. This one, open Grasshopper. Came here, right click, set one. As you can see, on new design, can start maybe moving this a little bit like this. And so on, you get the idea. We can move these points like this, maybe. Let's break the symmetry a little bit. So I'm going to move this one, but I'm not going to move this. Move this a little bit like this. And when you are done, we can come here and right click, choose Pick Geometry, make it group, and let's place it in the stairs part. And here we go. We have our parametric steps. So This has a lot of application for organic buildings or for in landscape too. Also, you can create some kind of variation. So for example, if I create maybe the first 1.15, let's pick it and make it group, place it in the stairs. And let's create another one, but make it 0.45. Create some kind of seatings. Let's pick it, make it group here. Let's select both of them, hold shift and select both of them, and move them here. Now we're going to create some pooling iterations to define the stairs part and the parts in which that are going to be just seatings. Hold Control Tab to switch between view. I'm going to repeat this part. So I'm going to create a box here, 3-point box for the pooling iterations, something like this. So these are going to be the paths of the step. So I'm going to select the organic stairs in which the riser is with 45 centimeters. So the pooling difference, you can find it here. Select or body surface to subtract from. So I'm going to select this body surface, right click, and select the surface or body surface to subtract with, and right click. So here you go. As you can see, we have here, this is our steps, and here people can sit in this part. Of course, we can design it in a better way, maybe reducing the width a little bit and maybe adding another path in here. Control Shift, move, and move it maybe something like this. You can press Tab to fix the movement. Right click to bring the command again, press Tab to fix the movement in this direction, move it maybe something like this. Let's give again pooling difference, like this one, right click, this one and this one. Here you go. And you can start, double click here. Let's delete this one. Okay. By the way, this is a plugin called Block Edit Neo. It has a lot of features, very useful features for editing blocks. I already made a tutorial about it. I will add it in the description below. And maybe these extra parts. So we have maybe this like our paths, our steps, and these parts are for seatings, and maybe you can start adding some kind of greens here and etc. So you get the idea. Okay, this was for the parametric stairs or steps. The exact same script can also be used to create towers with green terraces. So I'm going to select these layers and duplicate it. Duplicate layer. It contains sublayers, and yes, I want to duplicate the sublayer too. So yes, and let's name it tower with terraces. Let's select it and let's hide this one. Open Grasshopper. Let's hide this one for now. Select everything, and we can start organizing the script a little bit. So select all this and let's align them here. And let's select all this and press Ctrl G to group it. And let's name this group organic stairs, organic step / stairs. Let's select everything, press Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And for this one, let's name it tower with terraces. And the only difference here is going to be, okay, it's not going to be exactly the same because we're going to skip this part. We delete this one and insert the geometry. And this one is going to be floor to floor height, floor to floor height. And let's double click on it and let's make the range the minimum 0 and the maximum maybe 6 meters. And the digits make it only 2. Let's set maybe 4 meters for now. And let's save it. You know what? It's fine. Okay, so for this one, the input is going to be all the surface, not just a surface. So I'm going to start by creating a sub-D. So let's come here and create maybe a sub-D box. Set the count x 6 and 6. And let's set it 3 point. Make it 40 by 40 maybe. And the height maybe 4 meters for now. Press Tab to switch to between flat and smooth mode. Let's switch to the flat mode. And double click to select all these edges. Hold Control Shift and double click. Hold Control Shift, double click, Control Shift, double click, and select these edges too. Now let's come here and right click to make it hard crease. So now if we switch to the flat, as you can see, the edges are sharp. Now I'm going to select maybe hold the Control Shift and select some of these faces and let's extrude it by a value of maybe 20. We can start maybe moving this loop a little bit like this to make this curvature stronger. This too. Hold Control Shift to select the whole loop. And we can maybe move this down a little bit. Let's double click to move the gimbal here. Double click to increase the accuracy of this one and move it, and hold Shift and start maybe scaling to have something like this. Now move it up with this circle to extrude again. Now I want to show you if we import it as geometry like this, what we will get. So select this one and come here and set one geometry. So we have this contour. Let's use this one. So as you can see, this is how our tower will look like. You might need to move it a little bit up, maybe 1 meter. Anyway, we can now start adjusting the sub D, and this floors will update automatically. Move this up maybe a little bit. Move it down. Hold Control Shift to selecting all these edges and have to have some kind of a little bit larger terraces. Why the base is Okay, let's go to the front view, double click to minimize the view and double click to maximize this view. Hold Control Shift, select all these faces and move it up maybe 1 meter. Control Shift, all this, move it up 1 meter. Something like this. And for this one, let's move it down like maybe meter. Yeah, maybe this is starting to look better. Maybe moving this down also. But yeah, this looks better. I'm going to close this for now and start maybe adjusting the shapes a little bit, moving this a little bit like this one too. Let's make these edges hard decrease, and this one too. This one, this one, this one. Go here, right click and make it hard decrease. This one hard decrease too. And keep adjusting the model as we wish. Open Grasshopper and see how it will look like right now. So press on the scroll and make it decompute. It doesn't look it's not so good, to be honest, but I'm going to show you more techniques to name this layer floors, Grasshopper. We can bake this for now. Let's see the floors layers. Let's move it away a little bit. It's not too bad either, but this part looks weird, to be honest. Anyway, I will show you another technique to create this type of towers. We can create it using record history and some profiles. So I'm going to create a tower from a few profiles. So let's create a rectangle, 40 and 65 maybe. Let's select this rectangle, scale it, and make copy. Create a copy here and another copy, maybe something like this. Let's move this up by a value of maybe 45 meter or maybe 60. 60. Okay, brings those steps fine. Let's move this by a value of maybe 20. Okay, this one let's make a copy and move it vertical. Move it by a value of maybe 6 meter. Now make sure always record history is on. Let's come to the surface here and type loft. Select this one, this one, this one, and this one. Right click to have this surface. And there are a few settings here. You can make it tight, loose, straight sections, uniform. I think I will go with uniform. Press OK. Open Grasshopper. And let's come here and set on geometry. Set this one. As you can see, we have our tower. And if we want to adjust it, we can select the surface and type lock. Lock it and select the curves. Press F10 and start playing around. You can maybe start moving this edge a little bit, something like this. We can break the history of this one by moving it 0.5 maybe. Move it down 1 meter. A little bit. You know what? Keep it as it is. You can start maybe adjusting the shape, moving this one a little bit to have something like this. And this one, with Control Shift to select the edges. This is a very, very big terrace. Maybe something a little smaller. This don't that good. Select all of them, press F10 and start by moving this one here a little bit. Anyway, you get the idea. So when you finish, you can come here, right click and pick it. We can of course adjust the floor to floor height. Maybe set 5 meter, 3 meter, or 4 meter. 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 looks good. And let's come here, right click, pick it group, set in the floors layer, and move it a little bit away. I didn't pick this one. This part looks weird, so I'm going to adjust it. So I can come here, removing this one a little bit like this. Yeah, now it looks better. Right click, come here, right click, and let's pick it group, floors, and there you go. By the way, we can create a lot of shapes way more dynamic using subd. So I want to show you something else. So let's come here and choose subd box, make it maybe 8 and 8. Subd layer. Let's draw the subd here, 3 point, make it maybe 60 by 60, and the height of 6 meter. Negative 6. Oh. So if we came here, maybe select, maybe we're going to create some kind of a tower with. You know what? I'm going to delete this one now. Reduce the number of faces, make it 6 and 6. 3 point, 60 by 60, and the height 6. So let's select maybe these 4 faces. This and this. It's like 3 towers with a podium. Let's extrude them. Something like this. Let's import them inside the Grasshopper and see how this will look like. It's not bad as a beginning, but of course we need to make this edges creases. Hold Control Shift and double click to select the loops. Or select these edges. This one too. Let's come here and make it hard decrease. You know what? I still don't like it. I'm going to try something else. Let's start by a single face. Let's make it maybe 30 by 30 by 30. So this is like our base tower, and I'm going to extrude it by value of 20. Select it, extrude again, and again, and I'm going to select maybe this loop, hold Control Shift and double click to select the whole loop and scale it, hold Shift. You know what? I'm going to scale this only. Let's scale this one a little bit. This one way more. And make this bar decrease, yeah, to be some kind of cylinder. Maybe scaling it a little bit. Hold Alt and create few copies like this. Double click to move the gumball here, scale this one, and scale this one more, maybe. And now I want to connect them together to a one podium. So first I want to align them a little bit. Remove, hold Alt, move this maybe something like this. Select this one, and create a bridge. And this one, and this one, and create a bridge. And this one, and this one, and create this one, and this one, and create a bridge. And it's not working. So I'm going to select this one and choose face. It's going to automatically make it append, make it wide, not the unicorn. Let's create maybe wide in here. Click. Let's command again. Hold tab. So at this point. You know what? Delete this one. Something like this. Delete this one too. It's not working. Select this one. Let's extrude it, something like this, and let's create a bridge between this one and this one. Yeah, it worked. Delete this one too. Extrude this one. And select all of this. And let's select this whole loop. Hold Shift and hold the Control Shift and scale it. Something like this. And let's select these edges. Do something like this. Gumball, make it only one line. This one with example 2, and extrude this by a value of maybe 10. Make these parts hard decrease. Now we can open Grasshopper. Let's see what we will have from this one. Yeah, this type of organic tower looks cool, by the way. But I want this base to be circle too. So let's select all these loops, all these edges, and let's remove the hard decrease. And of course, we can start playing around, maybe scaling this to have something like this, and etc. You can also start connecting them using bridge, by the way. So if I move this a little bit, maybe creating some kind of bridge from here to here. As you can see, you start have some kind of very organic and very complex tower. You can extrude this a little bit more down. A little bit. It's up. But you know what? Move this also down. Then extrude it. Make this soft decrease. I mean, make it soft, not soft decrease. Both of these loops, make them remove the crease. Let's create maybe a bridge between this one and this one too. Then add more loops. As you can see, we managed to create a very organic tower in almost no time. And of course, after we finish, we can come here and right click, make it group, place it in source layers. And here we go. We have this kind of tower. Of course, it needs a lot of adjustment still, but you get the idea. Okay, now let's see how to create a wide span structure for complex geometries using the same technique. So I'm going to select this layer and let's duplicate it and set yes to duplicate with the sublayers too. And let's name it wide span structures. Select it and let's hide this one. And we are going to keep the same layers, but this one, let's name this one structure. And let's open Grasshopper. Let's hide this one. And I'm going to copy this one. So select it and Control C, Control V, and let's move it down. And let's name it wide span structure. And to save time, I'm going to use the same surface. Or you know what? Let's create a new surface. So I'm going to select the curves. Let's come here and draw maybe a curve here, make it 40 meter. So the span is going to be 40 meter. Click and let's create a copy. Maybe copy here 30 and copy after 60 meter. Select everything, tab rebuild. Let's control point, set it to 10. Make it sub-differently. It's okay. Press F10 and let's start maybe moving the point. Move this up, maybe something like this. And maybe this one, move it vertically by a value of maybe 6 meter. And for this one, move it up by a value of maybe 6 meters too. And maybe move these points a little bit up to 12 meter maybe a little bit down. Select sub D and select all these curves, go to sub D loft, corners yes, and maybe increasing the divisions between shapes so that we can edit it later manually. And press OK. You can press tab to switch to between soft and smooth mode and flat mode. But anyway, we can start with this one. You know what? I think I select this surface. Let's look it, and I created this while record history was on, so I can make few adjustment. Maybe move this a little bit. You know what? Keep it as it is. Let's unlock it, set one object. Okay, so for this one, you know what? Let's start from scratch. For this one, we will start with importing this geometry. And now we are going to offset. Oh yeah, okay, so I forgot about something. You know what? Let's start working with it and I will show you what I forget. Okay, let's start by offset drep. from Babel's plugin, and sets object distance value between from 0 to 3, make it 1.5. This is going to be the depth of the structure, so let's name it structure depth. Now we are going to use contour, but the direction is going to be this one, which is the right axis, which is the x direction. So set direction x on it, and the distance is going to be the spacing between the frames. So let's set between 0 to maybe 8, is it 4? Let's name it spacing, and let's set in the distance. So we have a frames with a depth of 1.5 meter every 4 meter. And the start is here, so it might be better if we start our geometry in the 0. Let's select the surface type, move from here to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so move it with the curves too. Move in 0, 0, 0. In geometry. So we have our curves. I think I might move it a little bit here. Okay, 1. So now we are going to extrude. First, convert it into surface. And let's extrude it in type amplitude. We are going to extrude with the same x direction, but with a different value. And this value is going to be the thickness of the frames. So this is the direction, and this is the base. Let's create another slider between 0 and 1, maybe 2, and let's set 0.25. This is frame structure width. Structure width. So we can hide. So these are like the main frames. 0.5. Switch to the wireframe. So what we can't have like the beams. This should be frames. So we can't have a floating beams like this. So what I have to do right now is to maybe selecting this edge like this. Control Shift, select all these edges, and let's extrude it. So that's fine. Now let's scale this to 0 to make it horizontal. And here we go. We have our frames. Now, of course, these curves, if we edit it, we break the history of the sub D. So if you want to edit anything, we will edit the sub D directly. Can start maybe moving this a little bit. In this one, there is a missing. By the way, there is a missing curve here. Not sure why it's not. It hasn't been generated. So let's see. So we have this profile, but maybe it's not closed. So we can flatten all of this. There's a component called close curve from Bufferfish plugin. Yeah, there is a gap here maybe, so it didn't work too. Let's try to increase the tolerance a little bit more. Recompute. Didn't work, and this tolerance right now is very, very high. Let me just reducing it back. Okay, for things like this, we can just shift. As you can see, I moved it a little bit, so it has been fixed. So right now we generated like the main frames, but there are like secondary beams in here. To generate the secondary beams, we will need to extract this face, the top one. But we will only do this after we make sure that we already adjusted the design. So first I'm going to all of this, and let's group it. G, and let's name it main frames. Select all this one and press Ctrl C, Ctrl V. But now this is going to be in this direction, in the Y direction. So I'm going to type Y on it, and let's replace this one. So hold Ctrl Shift and move this from here to here like this. So now this provides us with this secondary beam, but of course it has to be way, way smaller. So the depth is going to be maybe 0.5, and the spacing is going to be smaller, maybe 2 meter, and the structure width is 0.25. So we didn't face a problems for this, but if we have maybe this shape is a little bit curved from here, you will start getting this kind of frames. If you want, you can just start deleting them manually, or you can just extract this. Use only the top face. You can just copy this one like this and use only the faces at the top for generating the secondary beams. But anyway, right now I'm going to keep it as it is. So this is how we can generate this type of structure and it's using Grasshopper make it very flexible. We can control the depths, maybe increasing it to 2 meters, 5, and if we edit the design, everything will update accordingly. Start maybe, we want to hide the curves because we don't need it now. We start maybe Control Shift, select maybe this one, and scale it like this. As you can see, everything will update automatically. This is why Grasshopper is very, very useful for generating structures and different things for complex shapes like this. Anyway, I'm going to keep it as it was. And let's try to generate few different shapes. So I'm going to, in the top view, let's create different designs. So I'm going to create maybe, let's create a 3-point rectangle. Set the width to 30 meters, the height to maybe 15. Hold Control Shift and delete this one. And let's came here, double click to move the view, move this a little bit like this. Let's rebuild it. Don't make it differently, make the degree 1 and the control point maybe 6. Press OK. Let's hold Alt. Let's go, no, instead of, we can copy it using selecting and using a number by holding Alt, but I want to copy it using this, the copy command only. Let's move it 20 meters and another one after 40 meters maybe. And I'm going to select surface, type loft. This one, make record history set on. Make it straight sections. Okay, select this poly surface and let's lock it and select the curves, press F10 and let's start adjusting the design. So this something like this to have some kind of complex or shape a little bit. Okay, now let's open Grasshopper. Let's unlock it, select this object and come here. First, I'm going to pick this one. So let's import a geometry. Here, and let's come here. Let's name this one main frames and another geometry. Let's name this one secondary beams. Let's hide all of this. And let's put this custom review and use it here too. This one. Yeah, I'm going to pick this one. So pick it here in the structure, make it group. Right click, pick it, group, structure, yes. Okay, so now let's test it on this geometry. So set 1. Okay, so as you can see, we faced some kind of weird beams here. I will show you how to delete it, and there's something else also. For this one, as you can see, the structure is beneath the surface, but here the structure is above the surface. So let's see how can I adjust it. You can adjust it by maybe reversing the direction of the surface. So here, if I reverse the direction, it's up. If I reverse it like this, now it's down. And of course, we can keep move. Let's move this a little bit. Okay, reversing the direction of the surface broke the history. So we can anyway start editing the surface itself right now. So I came here. I'm going to isolate it and type commands solid point on, and let's start maybe selecting all this point. Let's move it like this and start moving things up here, maybe down from here. To reverse the surface, everything to be down. Yeah, this looks better. Let's move this like this. It doesn't look good, but yeah, it needs a few more adjustments. Now I will show you how to fix this the part of the secondary beam. So I'm going to duplicate surfaces and see this copy. So let's copy this 6 surfaces. Right click and let's press Ctrl J to join them. Open Grasshopper. Let's copy this one. Ctrl C, Ctrl V for this one here. And for this one, I'm going to insert only the top surface. So as you can see now, this is the parts. If we use this one for it, you will have this weird connection. But if we used only the top, this one, we'll have the secondary beams only in the top. Okay, now we can make this one too. Right click, pick it, group, select this layer, click, pick it, group, select this layer. And let's save it. Hide surfaces. As you can see, we managed to generate such complex structure in literally no time. By the way, for this one, as you can see, there are some kind of weird connection here too. This one need to be flat, or maybe the concrete base or whatever. So we can adjust this part manually by creating maybe a box here or something like this. Let's move it up a little bit. And let's type pooling difference. Select all of this, right click, and here you go. It's flat right now. Okay, so the same technique can also be used to generate parametric louvers. So I'm going to select this layer and let's duplicate the layer, yes to all, and let's name it parametric louvers. Let's hide this one. Let's select maybe surface. Let's name this one louvers. So let's assume that we have a building, maybe set a box, 3-point box. So its width is 25 meters, the depth is 20 meter, and the height maybe 4 floors, so 16 meter maybe. Let's select this one and let's lock it. Let's select curves and let's draw maybe a curve in here. And let's create a copy and let's set it here maybe 12 meter. Let's type twin curve to create curves in between, maybe 3. And let's select all those curves, type rebuild. Don't make it sub differently, maybe, but make the degree 3 and the control point 10. It's okay. And I'm going to use this to create a loft surface. I'm going to move all of them. Let's get a copy. Let's create for a copy, but with a distance of maybe 0.5. And let's lock these curves and select these curves and type rebuild. Control point 10, degree 3, press OK, press F10. So before pressing F10, I'm going to make sure all of the record history is on. Select the surface and type loft, create a loft between all of these curves and make it uniform, press OK. Let's lock the surface, select the curves, press F10, and let's start playing around to create something organic a little bit. Moving this, have some kind of wave. Let's switch to wireframe mode. Have something maybe like this, moving a little bit. So I guess the idea, I will keep playing around with the curves until we get the design we want. I'm going to select the curves layer and I'm going to draw a curve in here, another one here. I'm using right click to bring the same command again. We need this to be a closed surface, so I'm going to unlock everything. I'm delete this one. I'm select all these curves and join them together. Now I'm going to select this layer and let's lock this one again. Type loft, this one, and make sure to select them from the same direction, from the same side. Right click to have our surface. Let's now use Grasshopper. So we're going to enter geometry. Type geometry. This one. For the surface, we need to cap it. Make it closed. Now we are going to use contour, but in what direction? In the Y direction here. So here's the shape, here's the direction, and the distance. Let's set it 0.0023. Slider from 0 to, and the accuracy 2 digits to 3. Distance right now make it 0.5. Let's name this one louvers spacing. So here these are the lines for the louvers. Type surface and extrude them. We're going to extrude them in the same Y direction, so I'm going to use amplitude component. So this is the vector, and the amplitude is going to be the louver thickness. Let's create another slider, 2 digit, and maximum 1, 0.25. Louver thickness. This one. Let's use this custom review. Here we go, we have our louver. Of course, the thickness is 0.25 is too much. Okay, 0.1. Can reduce the spacing 0.4 maybe. So yeah, these are louvers, and these are all the parameters that we want. And the geometry, of course, let's align things together. Select all of this and let's group it, and let's name it organic louvers. And of course, if we start adjusting these curves, the louvers will update. This is why Grasshopper is so powerful. So yeah, you get the idea. And of course, if we maybe start rebuilding these curves, tab rebuild, and set the degree maybe 1. You can just copy all these lines, select extract, control polygon, delete the curves, and let's create a loft between this, but make it straight, have something sharp a little bit, make it straight. So, okay, let's see what we will get from something like this. So one geometry, as you can see, we get some kind of different, completely different design. Let's make this one group, let's place it in the louver layer, and for this one too, let's make it geometry. Let's right click, make it group, place it in the louvers. Here, of course, we can test tons of variations in almost no time using the Grasshopper and this technique. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you later.